Mm. Well, well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Jew, would you do
Yes, sir.
again?
Yes.
Let's make
Yes,
that a
sir.
habit every week from now moving forward.
hmm
Make it a habit. That makes us 2-0 after the bye. As if you're just now tuning in, the Atlanta Falcons have defeated the New York Jets 13-8
Oh,
in one of the ugliest football games we have seen this team play in a while.
won a game on the road
But
too.
I'm all in for it. One game on the road, yeah, yeah. And the one major key thing that I will give a shout out is we didn't leave out with no major injuries.
Mm.
Ain't that what you was praying for, Mike?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah. So let me know what you guys thought on the game, man. Go ahead, Mike. You give us your thoughts. You give us a thought before we go ahead and read out the box score stats for the game.
So, one of the things going into, and one of the reasons why I really didn't have a main focus as far as offensively, defensively, and special teams, it's largely due to the fact that I thought we were just a better team than New York. Obviously, even with their good defense, we didn't run the ball as well as that we would want. But again, this time of year, it's muddy, it's dirty, it's rainy, and I knew it was going to be this type of game. And this typically not the average fans um forte as far as the game is concerned. Some people said um it was a boring game, but I thought it was just a the like this was football. This is what football is all about getting dirty, getting nasty. And towards the end of the season, most of the games are like this. I don't, like you say this all the time, I don't give a dang how we win. We just get the W at the end of the day. So it can be pretty. We can pass the ball for 400 yards and run it for 230. I don't care. We got the W. And the things that I saw today, in past games, for instance, just injuries, man. The injuries, and for both sides of the team, and just prayers out to the young defensive lineman that I think it was a defensive lineman that got hurt. So prayers up to him, speedy recovery. And got caught up on a guy and broke his leg. So prayers up to him. But for the most part, man, like in past seasons, just one injury on this Falcon team that would have sent us, spiraling. So it just shows you with this team with the depth. Clark Phillips the third. Man, I'm telling you right now, this kid showed what he could do. We lost AJ to a um, concussion protocol. They set him out for the rest of the game, and Clark came in and he did his thing. But the growth, this is what we mean. A lot of things that we take for granted in football are the small things like depth. It may seem small to the average fan, but this is huge. Depth is what won us this game. Depth is what's going to keep you in games like this. And one more thing before I pass it on to you guys, I I'm going to say this. Um, and it's probably y'all. I know I'm gonna have some Ritter haters. It's like wiping their ears, because just to see if I said this correctly. Ritter made a bonehead play. Um, in the fourth quarter, where he, instead of getting a few yards, he threw the ball for incomplete. And in that situation, as a quarterback, these are the small things that can be a major factor in the game, win and losing. And he kind of got, like, Arthur kind of got in his ass. Like, you got to think, you when you have a first down, that is unsuccessful, you pretty much go, incompletion. One of the things as a quarterback, you cannot have minus yards, and you cannot, especially at that time, you got to keep the clock running. Well, he threw an incompletion and it stopped the clock. With an experienced team, they would have capitalized on that, and that's a huge. Those small things are huge with experienced teams like the Eagles, the 49ers. You can't make those simple mistakes like that in the course of the game, because you give them life. So in that situation, you got to, even if it's 1 yard, you got to get positive yards. In that situation, Ritter made the wrong decision, and this is the reason why with young players you got to keep feeding them. Even with Bijan Robinson, he didn't have his best game as far as his vision is concerned. But as time went on, he started to see his blockers a lot better. And like I said, these are the things that this is why you want to continue to get these guys more carries, get more touches, because they need to go through these growing pains. They need to go through these types of things and make it coachable moments. So, yes, I did have something negative to say about Bijan Robinson and Desmond Ritter, but this is the sign. This is a sign of growth. This team is growing before you. We finally winning games, ugly games. We're finally winning ugly games. Okay, finally winning ugly games. So, congratulations to the Falcons. Congratulations to Desmond Ritter and that offensive line, man. Getting the hell out of there with no major injury for the most part. Good God. I almost cried when I saw Nate Landman there. Look, man, y'all know how much I love that dude. That's that's my African brother. Okay,
That's Zamunda.
Ramunda.
What? For those that don't know, that Nate Landman is African, so y'all better know that. He's just on the lighter side of things. But Go ahead, Drew. What you got?
Yeah, man. I say for this game, the biggest thing is we came out with a victory, and the Saints lost today. So we gained some ground. We get that half a game over them by winning this game, because they dropped the game today to the Lions. So this is huge for our Falcons. Like I said, you got to make it a winning a habit. And today, by any means, is what you said a couple weeks ago, Kay. Like, by any means necessary, you want to come away with as many wins as possible. And this was one of those games where when they brought in Trevor Siemian at the fourth quarter, I'm like, oh, here we go. They're trying to just change things up at the last minute, try to bring in somebody that we didn't watch on film. You know what I'm saying? And he's a veteran guy. But today, this is one of those ugly games. But as you guys know, I told you this was going to be a trench game. The trenches is what stood out to me in this game. Bud Dupree comes away with 2 sacks. Arnold Ebiketie came up with a sack when it was time. The defense was the difference in this game. I mean, the offense, for the most part, the only gripe I'll have is I want to see Tyler Algier get more carries, because I feel like in this game, this to me should have been a Tyler Algier game over a Bijan Robinson game as far as running the ball, because the Jets play with a different style of physicality. And Bijan Robinson, you guys know, he's a physical runner, but he's more of a shifty guy. And Tyler Algier is one of those one cut, I'm going to get downhill, where Bijan is more of a guy, I'm going to try to bounce it. And you've seen a couple times he tried to bounce it, but the Jets defense is too fast sideline to sideline for you to be trying to bounce it outside. So I really felt like in this game, I wanted to see a little bit more Tyler Algier, because when he got in the game, you see one cut, and you basically heard throughout the game, Jonathan Vilma, I love when he calls our games, because even though he's a former Saints player, he keeps it real when he talks about our Atlanta Falcons. And he was like, you just see the difference when they put in Tyler Algier. He one cut downhill, always falls forward. You rarely see him get knocked backwards unless it's 2-3 guys tackling him. he's always going to break that first initial tackle. So I really feel like in this game, they could have did themselves a favor, meaning Arthur Smith and Dave Ragone, of getting him a little bit more involved in this game. But outside of that, I'm not complaining. Like I said, just like Mike was saying, I just wanted to get out of there with limited injuries because we've seen AJ go down. So I'm like, oh man. And we got, another division game against the Bucks next week. So I'm like, hopefully AJ will be back, to go up against Mike Evans, which we've seen in that first game. That was a real battle. And I also, in this game, you've seen Nate Landman, as he talked about. He went down with that injury, but it looks like he was standing up on the sideline at the end of the game. So I think it was just like a nick here, a nick there, because, all week he had that injury, that thigh injury. So at the end of the day, it looked like we kind of came out unscathed. I don't know about David Onyemata because he also went down at one point in this game. So hopefully he's good to go. But outside of that, like I said, I don't care if you win by half a point. Just get it done. And these guys went in there and got the job done. It was ugly, but they did their thing. When it was time for the defense to stand up, those guys stood tall. And of course, Mr. Reliable himself, Jesse Bates, shows up again with another interception, his 5th of the season. So he definitely going to be an all-pro, Pro Bowler. That dude could easily be up there for Defensive Player of the Year because he's having the type of season where we see he's the difference maker on this defense. Anytime we need a big play, he's coming up, taking the ball away.
Hey, man, definitely. And looks like we got somebody back here that's going to speak a few words on what he think of this game. Over at Uncle Dave's bar.
Yeah, we are Uncle Dave. We live on location, baby. Let me tell you.
God dang. We trying to have a nice. Don't you about to really come night riding.
No, don't you do that, Skip. Let me talk to you. You do not mess with zone 3. You understand that? You do not mess with zone 3. Jesse Bates, come see me, baby. Jesse Bates. He showed why we paid him the big bucks. Everybody always scream about, oh, y'all overpaid Jesse Bates. You did this, you did that. Oh, he earning that paycheck, earning every penny of it, every cent of it. Another thing about this game, that turf sucks. Okay.
Oh boy,
that turf is terrible. The league need to look into that. Now that's ridiculous. I'm talking about what you had jet players dropping like flies. When I seen Nate Landman go down, like Lord Jesus, that damn turf. You can add Maggie. I said it's the whole game. It's that damn turf. The damn turf. They need to do something about that shit. But oh no, man, it's a boring game. But we came out with the dub. And everybody learned the most valuable lesson. You do not mess with zone 3.
Leave that man alone.
Yeah, you do not mess with zone 3. Don't mess around zone 3, boy. Bad things happen now.
And speaking of that defense, I'm gonna definitely give a shout out to the defense because when I say these numbers here, y'all gonna be looking very impressed right here.
Yes, sir. Cutting Bud, shout out to Cutting Bud.
Let me see. Let's see. We're gonna do 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. 8 tackles for losses. 4 sacks. An interception. 3 pass deflections. And 3 forced fumbles.
Okay, don't forget that we lead the NFL when they talk about, they said 21 consecutive drives with no touchdowns given up. And that probably is at 23 by the end of the game. That was a mid-game where they were saying we lead the NFL as far as having given up a touchdown within the last 21 possessions. So that's big time.
Man, let me tell you something. If you would have told me that last year, I would have looked at you like you were damn crazy. I would look at you like you damn crazy. Man, ain't no way the Falcons can do that shit. But they doing it. It is satisfying to see that we got a good ass defense, man.
But that's what goes into great coaching. When you talk about, you have one thing too. What I enjoyed most is not only is Bud Dupree and Lorenzo Carter leading the edge rusher, but as the season goes and continues to go on, you just see the potential that's coming from that boy Eddie Kitty. That dude looked like a man possessed when at the end. He's only getting better. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, big
He's
time.
learning how to be. He's learning how to perfect one thing right now, and that's how to close. They put him in position to close games and be that edge rusher. So the Falcons are not. Well, the thing that people got to realize, the Falcons aren't teaching guys to be a complete player. That may sound crazy what I'm saying, but they're not teaching him how to be a complete player right now. They're teaching him how to perfect one particular aspect of his game, and then all the other stuff, the basics, you can learn that over time. The basics, you can learn that over time. But right now, he's perfecting one thing, and that's get after the quarterback and 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 bend and get after the and get sacks. And right now, that's what he's doing. And like I said, man, Ebiketie, if he continues to improve as that the edge guy, this Falcon team gonna have this Falcon team is gonna be really interesting.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a problem. No, that last sack was a thing of beauty.
Mm-hmm.
Clean shot. Beat him clean off the damn line. Hold on. Wait a minute.
So in layman's terms, Mike, you basically saying that they're giving guys roles on this team. They're asking guys to play a particular role and not just do everything in layman's terms, which makes sense.
And that's what, like I said, a lot of times when play with, especially coming out with when you have a young quarterback and you have a young team, a young wide receiver, a young running back like we have with Bijan Robinson. It's like oftentimes we want these guys to come out and be complete players, but they're young. These guys are young. They have to figure out what they are in the NFL, because once you figure out what you are in the NFL, then you can work on that particular role even more. Look, that's all he need to worry about right now. We got run stoppers. We got a guy like David Onyemata. We got a guy like, for one thing too, that man Street has become like that's an underrated trade for the Falcons.
Yeah.
He played well today. He played his ass. No, they traded for him. They traded for him for Philadelphia.
I don't know why I thought that was Kate Nellis. I think Kate Nellis was the free agent.
Kate Nellis, Kate Nellis. Go ahead, Kate.
Nah, but like I said, man, definitely like Bud Dupree, like I said, Bud Dupree. Like I said, 7 tackles, 2 tackles for losses, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble. Like you said, that was a hell of a game. We already know with Jesse Bates, the 1 interception on 7 tackles. But Clark Phillips held Garrett Wilson pretty much the whole game. And when he got a chance to him, I gotta give him credit with credit due on that one.
Oh, Joe Clark Phillips, yes sir. You smoke crack, don't you? Look at me, boy. Don't do smoke crack. It kills the brain, man. It kills the brain. Joe Clark Phillips, man.
But yeah, like you said, man, this was just one of those filthy, nasty games at the end of the year. This is one of those games where people may complain about the way the game played out, even though they won. Would be the same ones complaining about them if the game played out like this and they lost. So this is going to be what you call it a no-win. For every game for here on out for the Falcons, it's going to be a no-win situation to certain people. So at that aspect of time, like a lot of folks don't have to worry about that.
A lot of people was upset. A lot of people are really upset just because it's an ugly game. But like this is football.
Exactly. Yeah, everything ain't gonna be all roses and ice cream and all that other stuff. No.
Yeah. We just saw a $270 million quarterback win today 6-0. So don't talk to me about this.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Who was that?
The Chargers beat the Patriots 6-0.
You might say, don't stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
I'm dead ass
You mean to
serious.
tell me
No, he
Justin
dead
Herbert
serious
outscored
with that.
Bailey Zappi 6-0. Wow.
Yeah, the $270 million man won a game 6-0 today.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But,
Wow.
but like you said, man, a lot of times, like you said, it's gonna be you're going to have games like that, regardless on if everything goes right offensively or not. Like you said, you got the offensive side of the ball. Like this is the first game they had a turnover in 3 games.
Mm.
They're the first clean game offensively in the last 3 or 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, man, I love it, man. I love it.
Hey.
I'll take it.
And the fact the Saints lost today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I take any like I said, I take any win that I can.
Yeah. But did the Bucks play today?
They playing right now.
Oh, they playing right now. They got who they got?
Carolina.
They playing Carolina.
Oh, toilet bowl.
We need the toilet bowl to be
Mm-hmm.
No man, I'll keep that to myself.
Yeah, the toilet bowl.
We need that to be good, right? We need to have the game of their life, so it can give us a little bit more distance.
Yeah.
So let me ask y'all this up here on the panel. Let me ask y'all this question:
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather the Falcons win 13-8 or lose 45-41?
Yeah, win 13-8. I don't know anybody that want to lose. If you want to lose, something is
right. That was simple.
Look,
that was
something is seriously wrong with you if you want to lose. If you want to lose anything. Hell, I have trouble when I be struggling when I lose my bill. I
So that's the question I ask everybody watching. We definitely appreciate y'all tuning in. Is would you rather them won this game 13-8 or lost the game 45-41?
It go back to what I've been saying, Kay. I don't care by any means. Just win the game because see what a lot of people are not looking at, what a lot of the fans are not looking at. When you get in the playoffs, it's surviving advance. Don't matter how it looks. You can win a game 3-0 because once you get into that tournament, you have one bad game. You can be the Eagles, you can be the 49ers, you can be the Cowboys, all these teams that, and this is why I keep telling everybody, I didn't come into this season expecting the Falcons to go 17-0. Exactly. And even if they did and get into the tournament and lose the first round or lose the second round, it's all gonna mean nothing. We've literally seen the pictures go 16-0, and then we had the wild card New York Giants get hot at the right time, go into the Super Bowl and beat those guys. Yeah. So right now, what I care about is this team being on an upward trajectory as the season is coming to a close. So they playing the right style of football and winning games. I want us to get on that win streak so they have confidence going into the dance. I don't want to wait to the last, and I mentioned this last night on my show, I don't want to see this team squeak by, meaning the last game against the Saints is out of us two to go into the playoffs. I don't want us to back into the playoffs like we seen the Bucks do last year, and then they got trounced by the Cowboys because they had no business being in the playoffs. I want to have this team going in that upward trajectory. They got confidence because we've been winning, whether it's close games or whether we're blowing teams out. You just want to go into the dance, winning games. So you know what that feels like. You made that a habit of by any means, whether it's the offense driving on that last drive and winning the game, whether it's the defense coming up with a stop, whether it's Young Wei Koo kicking a field goal, you just want to be winning when it's all said and done. So when you get into the dance, you're a hot team going into the dance. Like I said, that Super Bowl year, we won like 6-7 games going into the playoffs. Yeah. We had got on that win streak. So nobody wanted to see us. And I keep telling a lot of these teams that's right now are riding that hot streak, they're not going to want to see this Falcons team at home in that first wild card game. Whoever play us, Dallas, whoever that is that's in that I think it's the fifth seed, whoever that fifth seed is going to be.
Right now, that's Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas. They're not going to want whoever it is.
It's Dallas because I want to go ahead and baptize Dan Quinn, fake Stone, Steve Austin looking ass.
Hey, man. Hey, look, you got to get them. Hey, at the end of the day, regardless on how it looks, because like I seen somebody I know some people may be looking like, well, if they're playing like this, I don't want them to go to the playoffs because we
Man,
gonna
please,
get
who cares
blown out.
about what you think?
Um,
If you
I,
get
I,
in the
look, I look,
playoffs,
look,
cool.
look,
You know.
look. You look at it like this. You get to the playoffs, it's 0-0 now.
Yeah, it's a whole new season.
It's a whole new ball game.
You remember that year when the Saints went in there and they played Seattle with a 79 record with the Beast Quake?
Beast mode was born that day.
Yeah.
Beast mode was born that day.
Yes, sir. But that boy calls it earthquake. It don't matter how good or how bad you is. It's in a given Sunday, man. But you know, like Juice said, that momentum of you winning games going into the playoffs, it does carry over, and that's in any sport. That's in any sport.
Yep, and it's gonna be key, especially going into this next game here, where you got, like you said, you have your next division game, and Falcons have to take care of business on that game too.
Yeah, got to.
So the main thing was just getting out of New York without any big significant injuries.
Yeah,
where folks get carted off.
Yeah, but I'm just glad we got the hell out of New York.
Exactly.
I told y'all that was my key. Look, get the hell up out of there, okay?
I know, right? You go ahead and grab your chopped cheese and get the hell on.
Get the hell out of here. Look, you ain't got the piss, you ain't got the shit, you ain't got to change your shoes, your socks. Just go. Get up out of there. That field is a nightmare.
Absolutely
not. Right.
Man, I'm talking about jet players dropping like fly, boy.
Exactly. So we got some more of the recap stats. The New York Jets outgained the Falcons 259 to 194. First downs were pretty much equal. Falcons had 6 penalties to the Jets 11. Of course, the Jets turned the ball over 3 times.
Yeah.
4 sacks to 3 sacks. 64 and 67 plays. So, hey, man. Whatever it is.
Hey, as long as we got the job, man. That's all that matters.
So let me go ahead and ask y'all, man, and I know I'm probably gonna say we're just gonna get like this, man. So who was your player of the game?
Who
was your player of the game?
I'll say my player of the game would be Clark Phillips, just for the mere fact that, AJ went down and it's like, okay, who gonna cover Garrett Wilson? And I thought they were gonna bump D Alford on the outside, but you guys know what I say about corners all the time, and Jonathan Vilma mentioned it in the game. One thing that went overlooked, not only did Clark Phillips cover really well, he was locking it up, is coming up and making tackles in the run game. I don't know if you guys seen him on the sideline where he stopped Breece Hall pretty much mano-a-mano, throw him out of bounds. That's the kind of stuff that I look at when it comes to this Falcons team. It's the small, intricate details. It's the tackling and not giving up extra yardage. I don't know how many years you've seen the Falcons where teams will catch the ball short of the sticks and break tackles and get to the first down marker, where this team, the biggest difference is the tackling, the one-on-one tackling. Clark Phillips ain't the biggest guy, but he was coming up laying the lumber on guys. And that's what I like about this team is like every guy holds his own. When we need you to make a one-on-one tackle in open space and get the job done, these guys are doing it. That's the same thing with Nate Landman. He's not the best in coverage, but when he's in open field, he gonna lay the hammer. He don't miss a lot of tackles, and this team doesn't miss a lot of tackles. So that's one thing that I'll say. I'll give it to Clark Phillips because he stood up, and the refs, I don't know what they was watching this game, but it was a lot of phantom calls, and it seemed like we weren't getting those same opportunities. I'm like, I don't know who we need to pay, what GoFundMe I need to go ahead and make to get some calls, because it's ridiculous at this point, man. It's ridiculous at this point. I mean, I seen Drake London on that one play. I'm like, I don't know how many times I've seen the flag get thrown. They pick it up against us. I don't know what it is against the Falcons, but it's just like this man is literally holding Drake London by the collar. He holding this man. The ball is no close to even near neither one of them. He's holding the guy, and Arthur Smith is on the sideline losing his mind. It's like, right?
Yeah, because I was about to say Dre London was getting held the whole game.
Yep.
He was getting held the whole game. They didn't want that physicality. What you got? What you got tonight, right? Who you playing the game, man?
Hey man, we're gonna take it down 166 real quick. You did not mess with zone 3. Jesse Bates, man. Jesse with man. Jesse never seems to just. He never fails to damn impress, dog. He's showing you why he making the big money. So that's why I said we're gonna take it down 166. I'll go ahead and get to my dog, Jesse Bates. Zone 3. What's that?
Oh man. All right, what you got on that, Mike?
Whew. I'm gonna give it to the Atlanta Falcons. I think. See, the thing is with me, I love. Obviously we have our own personal favorite players, but this team is just becoming a team, bro. Like it's becoming a team. Every week is something different. Every week we win and we lose, and we win and we lose, and then we improve on what we lost the previous week. So I got to give it to the Falcons, man. Like the coaching staff. One thing I'm seeing, and we'll kind of expand on this, probably Monday or Tuesday, but it'll definitely be sometime this week. Is I think there's a huge discrepancy with the coaching staff, and I think what's happening, what I know what's happening, is that we're seeing Arthur Smith trying to do favors for a certain guy, and it's just not working because the offense in the beginning, in the first quarter, it just wasn't. The passing game, the running game wasn't working well together. You saw a lot of plays where you clearly saw Arthur Smith influence, and then you saw it was almost like two offenses within one offense. That makes sense. Like they run a lot of stretch and wide plays with their wide receivers and running backs. And then when Arthur Smith picked up, when he started calling plays, especially in that 2 minute, the 2 minute offense, and then in the second half, where the ball just got out of his hands quick, it was just like it was completely different. And another thing too, man, I think Kyle Pitts and Desmond really starting to find themselves. They really starting to find their zone. So it's too many things for me personally. I can sit up and talk about the defense. I can say, the stopping the run, the defensive tackles. Calais Campbell is a man. This motherfucker, this dude is fucking Wolverine,
bro. Acknowledge him, your tribal chief.
This dude he's a fucking Wolverine. I don't know how this dude he's the biggest. It looked like on one play he looked like he ain't got nothing left, and then the next thing you know, he making play after play after play after. I'm like, what is this dude? Is
acknowledge your tribal chief, man.
Acknowledge him. This dude is a freak of nature, a Hall of Famer. Like this dude he's leading by example. And that's why I said I gotta give it to the Atlanta Falcons because we're finding ways to win now. That's the mark of a good and well-coached team.
Yep. Absolutely.
Hey man, while y'all giving everybody some love, man, I'm gonna give my player. I say my player of the game gonna be Bradley Pinion, man, because them punts that he hit, especially in the end of the game, were crucial.
Yeah.
He didn't fuck nothing up. He didn't shank shit. When the average starting position for the other team after a punt is within the 10-yard line, that special team doing his job right there. So definitely shout out to Bradley Pinion, especially on the last 3 offensive drives for the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Bradley Pinion.
Oh yeah.
I think somebody said the dude that came on the show with us Wednesday, he called the game, said it had been 12-9 Jets. He was close on the score.
He was.
Yep.
He was good. Hey, I forgot which one of the people from NFL Network. I always watch the previews of the games on YouTube. The NFL post.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot which one of them so-called experts picked the damn Jets to win 3-2. I'm like, damn, we playing baseball?
Somebody was trolling like a motherfucker.
A field goal and a safety.
Speaking of
That's
that
so.
safety, I need to acknowledge something.
Who? That, I didn't see who that was. I saw the play. Who was that got pancaked in the Bijan Robinson?
Hey.
Close to the congregation right now.
No, Bergeron got his ass pancake to Bijan. But my thing is, why the fuck is we calling a zone stretch at the 1 yard?
Bro, I almost lost my mind.
Why is there not a fullback in the game? Where the hell is Keith Smith at?
Oh, I'm glad you said that. Go ahead, Kev.
Maybe it might wouldn't work.
See, here was my thing on that play, and that's the play that kind of got everybody upset when we were watching the game, was because this Jets defense is a legit defense. I don't know why everybody
they really are.
But their defense is legit, and they like moving sideline to sideline and attacking the line of scrimmage. You're at your own 1 yard line, and you're running a zone stretch against a team that is penetrating through your defensive line.
Make it make sense. That's the make it make sense moment of the stream.
Exactly.
And Drew Dalman got beat right off the goddamn snap on that play too. I was like, oh Lord.
I'm so sick of Dalman. I am so sick of him. I'm done with him.
But he had it. But the thing, yeah. It's too inconsistent. It's inconsistencies on that as well. But man, got any more? So let's see. I guess we go ahead and wait for some questions or something, man. Everybody's thoughts, man. Are you happy that they won? Or are you mad that they won?
You know, some people gonna be mad that they won.
Always. But
I just want to say this too. For a lot of the fans that say Arthur Blank need to damn sell the team, I need to remind y'all, please be glad we don't have an owner like David Tepper.
Say it again.
Oh boy.
Please be glad we don't have an owner like David Tepper.
He's so disrespectful. That the way he did. I'm gonna just be real. Granted that he's a rookie quarterback, but that was so disrespectful and just disgusting how he did Bryce Young. Like, see, that's the type of shit that see, this is the type of shit that I despise for owner. Like, you don't shit on a man because you didn't get your way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't fair to Bryce Young.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You essentially telling this guy, like, I don't care if you were drafted first round. I don't want you. That's essentially what you're doing. It's disrespectful for the team. It's disrespectful to the coaches. It's disrespectful to the fans. But it's just disrespectful to Bryce. That's disgusting behavior coming from your owner. You don't get to throw a guy away because you don't want him. This ain't fucking trash. Okay? This is a fucking these are coaches and players' livelihood at stake.
Mm-hmm.
And you just decide because I don't want him, I'm just gonna go and try to embarrass him. Well, you literally embarrass this young man like that.
You didn't give
that's disgusting,
time to try to establish something. Yeah, you 1-10. That's what happens when you're in a rebuild. You don't win. Some people damn win during the rebuild. You know, it happens. But because you can't get your damn way, you want to damn fire the man. And I'll be honest with you, I think Frank Wright was I think he was actually relieved that he got fired.
Yeah, of course. That was a horrible. It's like I said, you just don't play with people's lives like that. And David Tepper, he playing with them guys' lives like that. That's just wrong.
He basically the new he's the new Dan Snyder.
Yeah. Just because he can. He's all you know who he's like? He that damn Microsoft guy, Bill Gates. Just because he can, he just do shit just because he can. Yeah. He's Elon Musk. He's those guys. He's just doing stuff because he can. He's Donald Trump. That's what he is. You don't play with people's lives like that. And I know we just went on a tangent, but I just I had to say that because I wanted to do a video on that, but we got so busy around here, and you just don't play with a guy. Like these players put their bodies on the line. You know what I'm saying? It's disrespectful to the players that put their bodies on the line to say it's just because you don't want them anymore or you didn't get your way. You just gonna start playing with this guy? Nah, it ain't cool,
But,
bro.
Yeah,
wait,
Tepper
hold
step
on,
in.
hold on. I'm completely lost. What the hell happened?
So basically, in the conference, in press conference, he said that quote unquote he was outvoted by the coaches on the team because they not outvoted, but they was outsmarted by the Houston Texans. They thought that they had intel that the Texans were going to take Bryce Young, so they wanted instead of them, actually using their picks and trading up to that spot, they kept the picks, and Houston outsmarted them, and they took um, CJ Stroud. So he went in the press conference and said, "Well, we essentially got outsmarted. We didn't really want Bryce Young."
Tepper's an
That's
idiot.
literally what he said. And we
Tepper,
got outsmarted. We thought that they was going to take CJ Stroud. They were
Well,
going to take Bryce Young, and they took CJ Stroud instead.
Tepper's
well,
a jackass.
well.
So he got on and said exactly that we got it. We really didn't want, but it's not Bryce Young's fault that we didn't want him. Like, huh?
Tepper's an
Hold
idiot.
on. And this is exactly why you always say, man, you have to establish some type of culture as far as I said the wrong word of culture, but we're using this in a positive spin this time. And that's unfortunate, but this is one of those things where you have certain teams and certain organizations that's going to take that gamble
Mm-hmm.
with that first round pick quarterback
Mm-hmm.
like that. And if he doesn't pan out like that, see, like you said, they stuck with him now.
Uh-huh.
That's a 45-50 million dollar investment off rip. Because when you add on the fifth year option, the add all the incentives to go with that, that's a $50 million investment.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're coming out and saying that, okay, I didn't want this type of guy, that makes you look just as worse.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
Tepper's an
And
Just
idiot.
bad.
Kel here said so. Basically, they mad because they didn't do their homework on the player and got finesse.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And there it is.
That's why you got to have a backup plan because a lot of times, like even with the Dallas Cowboys, like the Dallas Cowboys, they wanted Matthew Bergeron. They wanted him, and what happened was they it was a couple of teams that actually wanted him in the first round, but again, they didn't do their homework. But I think the thing too, it's gonna force a lot of teams to um really take their chances with a lot of these offensive linemen and defensive linemen early in the draft because they got teams like the Falcons that are really putting emphasis on drafting guys like the 49ers, the Eagles, like they're really focusing on building in the trenches. So it's going like I know a lot of people probably thinking about quarterbacks. I think quarterbacks are going to start dropping in the draft, and a lot of these trench guys, you about to see the return of the physical football. You about to see it. So I,
Yep.
I hate to bust y'all bubbles, but you about to see some big time guys that you never heard of in college be a draft high in the draft in this coming draft.
And that is the advantage when you're putting the team first, then establishing whether you want to go in that direction.
Yep.
So I about to say, man, we just gonna go ahead and wind it down for the day, folks. The
Yeah,
AFN.
boy, Bo James calling my name, boy.
We got part 2. We got part 2 of the post game show over on AFN coming up at 5:30. So, hey, man, I'm looking at you.
Blackberry, Coach, Night Rider, Big Wheel, all you guys, Big Ant. So head over to AFN right now. Subscribe to their channels. I'm sure the guys gonna probably have something later on tonight too, if they're not too busy. So this is the day for you. So again, head over to those channels, man, and subscribe to everybody. All right, Night Rider actually just got a new. He just finished a new project. He just finished a new song for AFN. He did a new beat.
Hey,
Look, man.
yeah.
Look. Hey, man. I told this dude got so much talent. Dude got so much talent, man. We got a lot of talent over here at AFN, man. But really continue to support us by hitting that subscribe button. The subscribe button means much more than just solely a view. We appreciate your view, but we greatly appreciate you actually subscribe. So subscribe.
Like, subscribe, and share, people.
Exactly. Hey, man. So, he's a question: how far back would the Falcons have to be for a comfortable trade? At least 15. I don't know right now. I really ain't trying to go thinking to the draft right now.
Nah, hell no.
We'll get that. Get back to us about 2.5 weeks. We started at towards the end of the December, the draft talk. So
right.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all that right now. Y'all know I'm going to the New Orleans game, right?
Mm-hmm.
They try to copy what Atlanta did with the 50 years of hip hop show. They playing Big Freed out. I'm walking out. I'm going straight to Bird Street. But I'm walking out.
But hell, just think of it like this. This is the first. This is the first back-to-back win the Falcons had since week 1 and 2. So
yeah,
let's go ahead and make it 3 next week. So hey,
do it.
Go over on AFN part 2. We here to play. We here to stay.
Mm-hmm.
That's right, Skip.
Oh yeah.
You ain't gotta go home.
But you gotta get the hell up out of here.
And don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Victory screech. Deuces. Hell no.